And we're back with some more Blades in the Dark. Hello. Take it away, GM Andrew.
Oh, well, you guys have an advance on your
Oh
crew.
yeah, oh yeah, we do. Okay, so side note, we have an advance on our crew sheet.
We should take door kickers.
You think we should? You think we should take door kickers when you execute an assault plan? You take +1 to the engagement roll. I mean, we're gonna do an assault via ambush in like an hour.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, door kickers it is.
It seems like we'll get a lot of use out of it, assuming we live for the next several.
I mean,
sessions.
we also get door kickers, and we also get
You get one.
yeah, weaving the web changed. I forgot about that. We also get weaving the web
Excuse me.
actually too.
Yay!
So we get
We get lots of die on engagement rolls, basically.
that involve assault.
I know. All right. So our first plan is that we have to organize the meeting of these people with forged letters. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So I think the crux of this whole thing is who's forging these letters.
I mean, it's got to be Rubik's.
You're
right?
doing it,
Yeah.
Rubik's? Okay.
Yeah, Rubik's will forge the letters and get them delivered. um,
So, although we're gonna start with the because this is still essentially an ambush. Um,
But the deception has to work.
the three of you are at this location.
Yeah.
And we'll roll the engagement, and this will kind of be like when we get into the whole oh, someone didn't get their letter or whatever.
Right.
cool.
Someone's late, that kind of thing. So go ahead and roll engagement, but I'm imagining everyone
We're all in the location we
stakeout
told them to meet
scenario
in
at this location.
this alleyway, in Tangletown somewhere. This twisted.
Oh, how many dice are we getting on our engagement roll here?
Oh, right, because there's a new way that we do this.
Is
Yeah,
there?
okay, let's review this because we haven't gone through this before. So
Okay.
searchable PDFs are great.
Right?
Engagement roll 128. So, is this operation particularly bold or daring? Not really.
No.
I don't think so.
No.
Does the plan's detail expose a vulnerability of the target or hit them where they're weakest?
Yeah.
I think it kind of does.
We have them exactly where we want them to be.
Like we know everybody in the thing, we know everybody in the
The,
chain,
conspiracy.
the chain. So like knowing who they all are and being able to distribute letters reliably, sort of with names of the other ones to the ones that we need to come to the place. I feel like that's having a weak point. Like
Okay. So y'all get +1 die.
Okay.
And you start with 1 die for sheer luck. So you're at 2 die.
Okay.
The best kind of luck.
Can any of your friends or contacts provide aid or insight for this operation? Or are there any enemies or rivals interfering in the
I
operation?
don't think any of our friends are particularly insightful.
Salia.
Oh, I guess maybe, but
She's an information broker.
yeah, but does she
I
know
mean,
anything about
yeah,
this?
and you all don't get a bonus die for being bravos, right? Like she isn't like a specialist in.
She isn't like involved in this
particular-
conspiracy somehow.
Yeah,
you
like,
know.
that would be
Yeah.
where
Okay.
that would really kick in.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll say no. I'm just looking if there's anyone that would screw you over on this.
If they are nobly connected, Rosalind Kellis doesn't like me anymore.
No, I don't think this particularly matters. So we're still at 2 dice. Are there any other elements we want to consider? Maybe lower tier target would give you a die. Maybe a higher tier target would give you a die. Penalty. Maybe there's some situations in district. I think you're at -1 die because it's in fucking Tangletown.
Okay.
Tangletown's
Fucking-
an inherently
Fucking tangled.
untenable place to operate.
Yeah, it's inherently
Stuff
dangerous.
changes constantly. It's a nightmare mess.
So what? 1 die engagement?
1 die plus
Plus
whatever
2.
standard bonuses y'all get.
+2. So
And yeah, keeping in mind that Tangletown is the half-sunken husk of a Leviathan hunting ship that has been sitting in the bay for over 100 years, and having this little like settlement kind of built inside and onto it.
Beautiful.
So yeah, go ahead and roll engagement.
So I guess just one die because I didn't get
plus-
to. I didn't
Plus
get
any
to.
bonuses that y'all have to engagement. Don't y'all already have some default bonuses?
I only get weaving the bet or web if I gathered information for this score,
Didn't we?
but I did it
No,
for
you did
a
on the other.
different score. Yeah.
Okay. Then
All right,
we're at one
we got
die.
a 1 die engagement roll. All right.
And engage.
Yes!
Ah!
Yes!
That's the best.
Sweet,
Ah!
delicious taste of 1.
This is how we start the night.
Well, all right, great.
And by yes, I mean no. By the way,
Uh-huh.
one is not a good result.
Sorry, let me just
No.
review my notes for a second.
Okay.
So, which one of you is going to jail, and who's dying?
I already put my money in the pool.
I have.
Trauma, jail, dead. It's the new fuck, Mary Kill of Blades in the Dark.
I have a way that this could have gone wrong.
I'm entertaining suggestions.
If you. I don't know if I want to implicate myself this early in the season as being a troublemaker, but I certainly was thinking that after the conversation with Rubik's and Birch, Cricket would be looking at whether these people were involved with the Sashes, like, or these are the people that the Sashes didn't tell
This
us
is
about.
the Red Sash's conspiracy to break the stranglehold that the Hive has.
I
on
think
the drug.
maybe Cricket went back to Malera and said something without telling anyone.
Yeah, did you fuck things up for your friends?
I think so.
Okay, well then that gives me all the information.
I'm just saying it could definitely have been a thing. Like, it's the kind of thing she would do. She's a guilty, guilty Eruvian conscience. Already not a good situation for her.
Yeah.
I think
Okay.
I think
This
she
is my
went back.
disappointed look.
She went back.
We just finished with Croak.
I just need to roll on some tables here real quick. Just making some people.
Okay.
Behold life.
Yeah. It's tough being like unto a god.
It's tough being like unto a god, yeah. Indeed.
Do we go with? Yeah, okay. So, you're at the appointed place, and rather than the 4 conspirators walking in, this one man who is not any of them shows up. He is Eruvian.
Sure.
He is athletic. He's quite young. He looks very fit. He's wearing he's wearing a red sash, which is like this Eruvian sword fighting sash with weighted tips on one end. He's got that around his neck. It's hanging like low on his back. He's dressed in like a very fitted kind of like Akarosi style naval jacket. This building that you're at, this meeting place, we also have tables for buildings. This is great. We can just roll everything.
I love it.
I don't know the details. The game just does it for me. So yeah, it's this like ramshackled building made with metal sheeting. probably scavenged from like the deck of the ship that's now like on its side. They've like dismantled a bunch of it, so there's this exposed like the struts and stuff. The like main structural elements are still there, but all of the like walls and floors have been stripped away from this and then rebuilt so that they're on an appropriate semi-level arrangement. And it is a tenement building, but that has been abandoned quite recently. So it was a spot that y'all found that you could use that no one would kind of be looking to. But it is, it's like really run down. It's got a bunch of discarded beds in it that have just like rotted out. It's very wet. There's the one kind of nice thing in it is that it has an electroplasmic lamp that's from the old Leviathan Hunters. Like it's still wired up to the Leviathan Hunter and it's still running. And it's just like buzzing, flickering, like bright blue electric lamp hanging above this table down in this like foyer. Like ramshackle foyer. And the man walks in and just like sits down at the table and puts a sword down on it.
Load.
What is everyone's load?
Like,
well, I was expecting this to be an ambush, so heavy.
I'm doing normal.
Cricket's load is always light. Always.
So when your load's heavy, you're actually slowed down too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep,
you are.
that's fine.
Cool. So, he just like sits down
So
and slams his like sword onto the table, still in its scabbard.
So in our hidey hole, I look to the other two and I go, "This probably isn't good, right?"
Rubik's just like slowly moves his head towards. Oh, my brain. All right, Cricket.
Does this guy have a family?
Do you please
Andrew.
tell me you did not interfere in this operation?
Andrew, I think you got a question from Sean. Does this guy have
Sean,
a
what's the
family?
question? Were you asking me that?
Yeah,
How would you know if he has a family?
because I dug into this guy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I see. So we're flashing back.
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess you're gathering information.
Yeah, I want to
But
gather
this
information.
is pretty. So like,
You weren't
suspect
expecting
the
this
Red
guy to be
Sashes
here,
of
yeah.
double crossing you after they've hired you for a job, and you're looking into Mylera Clev's second. Is this what I'm understanding?
Oh, okay. This is Malaria Clev's second.
This is what's going on, Sean. I'm just getting clarification here.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
Okay, so this is definitely a 3 stress flashback.
Yeah, sure. That's fine.
Just like you just knew, you just felt it in your soul that it would be this particular guy.
Just had a bad feeling.
Okay, and so describe to me what Birch is doing in this flashback.
Yeah, so knowing that the Red Sashes kind of have the lay of the land in our district, and knowing that this plan with the Hive directly interferes with them, I would have basically done some research on like important people within the Red Sashes to figure out like who their contacts and who their like where their vulnerabilities were. And so if this guy's got a family or some children or cousin or something that he cares about, I would
That's great. Yeah. Okay, so you're like following him.
Yeah, like I want to. What I essentially want to do is I want to have their cousin like in the back of the drowned ace and have this person know it.
Okay, well, go ahead and roll hunt for me.
Sure.
To like have followed him to the like necessary places to like figure out all this stuff. All right. Well, actually, sorry.
I mean, assuming that's the role that you
What
want
are
to
you
make.
rolling? I need to.
Oh
put
yeah, yeah.
myself in the
No,
right-
I definitely think I'm rolling hunt. So yeah,
Okay.
I didn't think anything otherwise.
Great. I'm glad that I just intuited exactly what you were going to say.
it's my main ability. Oh, do I get the +1 for the crew? Like everyone gets a +1 prowl, finesse, or tinker or something
Oh
of
yeah,
the sort.
yeah. You're part of the crew.
Yeah, you're part of the crew.
Okay, I'll figure that out in a second. It's not relevant to this role.
Part of the ship, part of the crew.
Part of the ship. Let's roll some hunt. Do I want to push myself?
Start with that 5 stress.
What is my position? Oh, game master.
I mean, this is risky
Okay.
for sure.
You're
they're
following.
tier
You're
3
following.
organization.
You're following a highly
He's one of
trained
their top
swordsman.
people, so I think your effect is going to be limited.
Okay. Okay, I don't have anything in that regard, so then I want to.
Yeah,
Oh.
like this guy has 2 red sashes with him at all times.
Yeah,
Everywhere
that's-
he goes, he always has people with him.
That in
Um,
itself is useful information because he might have people.
And you have a point in a tune. Yeah, that's good. That could come in handy.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay, I rolled a 2.
Yeah, yeah, you did.
Bum, 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 bum.
So I think, yeah, you're trying to follow this guy,
Mm-hmm.
and at some point, like he goes into this shop that you like. It's in Crow's Foot, and you're familiar with the district, but you've never noticed this shop before. Like you've never seen it before,
Okay.
so it's really bizarre.
Huh.
He goes into this shop, and you like go to follow him in there to like keep tabs on him.
Right.
And there's like the jingle of the little bell on the
Ah.
door, and it's this like musty old, like very cramped shop full of like weird curios and mystical whatnots and doodads. It smells really strongly of like pickled fish, but like stale pickled fish. And there's the ding ding ding, and then one of the 2 sashes just like slams you against the shelves,
Mm-hmm.
and holds a sword to your neck. So you're in a desperate position now. Feel free to keep rolling.
Feel free to keep rolling. Yeah, no problem.
It turns out Birch isn't with you in this because Birch is dead, killed in this flashback that happened.
this is probably why he's mad at us.
Yeah, no. What's this all about? I say as I have the sword to my neck.
Yeah, and the red sash who's got you like pressed against the wall is just like, you shouldn't even be able to see this place. What are you doing here? And then this guy whose name is what's his name? Wester.
Oh.
Walks like he was talking to this shopkeeper who's this like withered old Eruvian man, like basically a skeleton
Ooh.
with some skin stretched over him.
Ooh.
And you see Wester, like out of the corner of your eye, you see him do kind of one of these to the man and like walk over slowly. And he's like, "It's quite all right."
Yeah, I didn't know. It was a new shop I saw. I just came in. Security's pretty crazy around here. I can leave. It's fine.
He's like, yes, maybe you should. Who are you?
Name's Birch.
I'll remember that.
All right. So I leave.
You just bug out.
Yeah, I think. Oh gosh, what am I gonna?
So obviously they're gonna try to follow you or in some way mark you. You want to, do
Yeah, I
anything?
think I'm gonna take my second dot and prowl, and I'm going to evade them.
Cool, great.
And yeah, let's see what
So,
happens.
to ensure that they aren't able to follow you or
So
anything weird.
We're going to use a little bit of foresight here.
It's fine.
Birch, we've known to.
Huh.
I know that you're pretty familiar with the pits and everything, but what you should really know when it comes to our line of work is how to get out of situations that you've dug yourself a hole into. And
Yeah.
one of the best ways to do it is to learn how to slip within a crowd.
Yeah, so I think there's like something going on like up above us on like one of the scaffold things, or there's like some people milling around. And so I think I just kind of like haul myself up there and try and just blend into the crowd and disappear.
Yeah, so you do like a little bit of parkour
Yeah.
up this little gangway and into
hmm
this like more reputable marketplace that's happening above.
Yeah,
Okay,
that
cool.
sounds about right. And then
Yeah, go ahead and roll prowl.
Because everything that happens closer to the not sun is reputable.
position is desperate.
Desperate position,
Bonus die.
and your effect. I think in this case, you can have. We'll give you a standard effect.
Awesome. I'll take standard. I'm gonna take a bonus die.
Good.
4.
Awesome.
Hey, don't forget that tick of experience.
Oh yeah.
Or on a desperate. All right, great. So, yeah, the sashes don't follow you, but as you're like, you go to like grab this loose cobblestone or whatever, like not cobblestone, but like one of the bricks in the
Yeah.
building. You go to grab it and like, as the mortar's worn away, it's like a little handhold. You will have to vault up, and like as you're reaching for it, it like there's like a face in it. And there's this
Ooh.
like, screaming face that like starts emerging from the wall, and all around you, you see these like faces everywhere that you turn and look. Every little object like a brick or the lamppost or whatever, they all have these faces on them.
That's super creepy.
So if you would kindly take the level 2 harm, watched by 1,000 faces, and then you can be on your merry way.
Sounds good.
Yeah, so basically like ever since then, although not as severely as in that first moment where it's just like all these faces everywhere, occasionally when you go to reach for things, it's just like a face on it, this like haunting image of a pained face.
Nothing I haven't seen before.
Yeah, it's just you're just seeing the world for what it is.
Screaming in agony.
Yeah, and so you like shuddering like escape into the crowd,
Okay.
plagued by these like weird faces.
So I guess my plan went south, but that's fine.
So you recognize this guy. That's him. You've seen
Yeah.
him before.
So flashing back to where we were.
Yeah.
Yeah.
After the smash cut flashback of Birch screwing up.
And just
I
like
like you.
into the room, he just says,
At least Birch didn't betray us all.
yeah, so Wester into the room, he just says, I'm quite disappointed in you. I thought we might have been able to cooperate, you and I. And then outside you can hear footsteps, like lots of footsteps, all hustling around.
One person, remember meetings. One person, Ruvian meetings. Let me do it. It'll go better. I promise.
Rubik's just kind of doesn't say anything.
You guys get the fuck out of here.
And even before Cricket says that, Rubik's is already starting to disappear into the shadows.
You're just like
So-
happily ditching
Yeah,
it.
he's just like, you know what? I know when things have gone pear-shaped and I'm leaving. And we are going to have words about this.
I'll talk to you later. So
So,
how is this all
Prowl,
going to play out? Is it that Rubik's wants to make a prowl roll and
yeah,
Cricket's trying to set him up by talking? Is Cricket going down to talk just to buy time?
Cricket is going down to the table or where this table is that Wester is sitting at, or with his sword on the table, to stand respectfully on the other side of the table, and just try and get like attention on her, while the other two fuck off. Hopefully.
Okay, yeah. So you're trying to set them up so
Yeah.
that they can have essentially better effect
Yeah, exactly.
or be in a safer position. I think really it's going to be better effect.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing is going to change the fact that y'all are in a desperate position because you're surrounded. But you might make this like surprise escape. Okay, so why don't we have Cricket roll first, and then that'll set up for anyone that wants to leave. We haven't really heard what Birch wants to do, but
I kind of want to see if there's any way I can use this situation to our advantage. Like if there's any information I can glean from what's going on here.
okay,
That might
yeah.
help me complete the objective all the same.
Cricket's role will help set up both of you
Yeah.
for whatever you're doing
Sure.
next. She's going to go and like take on a lot of the risk and also try to buy time. So, yeah, Cricket, how are you going to? What kind of role is this?
So I'm gonna walk out from the shadows, like, sort of very, very passively, and approach the table, and put my own, like, take the knives like out of my sleeves and like put them down on the table, like on the opposite side to the sword, sort of thing, in like okay, we're just gonna talk. For a
Like
sec.
we're here to talk, and that's why the weapons are on the
That's
table.
why the weapons are on the table. Yeah.
Yeah, and his hand is still on his, but he's sitting very casually. He's like leaned back in the chair, and he's like manspreading super hard.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think it's a sway, because I think it's the whole respectfully, you don't know exactly what is going on here. Kind of approach.
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
like pleading for your life.
Yeah,
essentially.
basically. Yeah.
Okay, so it's a desperate sway with limited effect because he knows full well what's going on here.
Yeah, you don't know what's going on here. And also, I spoke to Malera. Like,
Yeah.
If-
Kind of
if nothing else, don't kill me.
Take the others. Let me live.
I mean, if you want to, so two things. One, if you want to sell out your companions, standard effect. Two, devil's bargain. If Rubik's can hear you selling them out, you get an extra die.
Oh.
I feel like I'm going to jail after that. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think Cricket's gonna be alive after that.
You better
with
fucking go to
either
jail or
either
Rubik's gonna get
option,
you.
it's just going to be like, who gets us first?
I mean, the Red Sashes, you know very well that the Red Sashes, since you're a Ruvian, they're a Ruvian, they're going to keep this one in their house. They're not going to give you up to the Blue Codes. So,
I'll take it. I'll take it because it's fun.
Which one, though?
Okay, so
Both.
both are options. So it's well, I mean, the first is like she can sell you out to get standard effect, and then the devil's bargain part is that you hear her doing it. Because she could like subtle, like she could just speak in Aruvian if she wanted to, and you wouldn't have any idea what's going on. But if she just does it in plain Akarosi, loud enough for Rubik's to hear it.
Oh, do I do it though? Oh, I'm so conflicted. Yeah, I do. I think I do.
So your loyalties are more with the Red Sashes than your own crew.
My loyalties are Eruvian loyalties, I think, is what
Right, like,
you
this
should
is
take
all
away
just-
from this.
Playing into Rubik's paranoia.
Oh,
as
yeah.
racism is great.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's perfect.
Just like, yeah, of course they're closing ranks and like sticking with their own kind. They would, wouldn't they?
I'm also going to push myself because I only have 1 dot in sway, so I need all this shit I get. This is desperate, right?
So you can either push yourself or take the devil's
Oh,
bargain.
you can't do both? Okay. All right, well, I won't push myself then.
Or at least you can't push yourself for an extra die if the Devil's Bargain is for an extra die. You could push yourself for like better
okay.
effects.
I wasn't entirely sure, so it's
But,
fine. All right, so this is desperate, right? Desperate.
Yeah, desperate standard.
Standard
Play.
slay. 5.
Okay. So you... Okay, so this will still succeed in setting up. Okay, so on whatever roll either of you two do next, you're gonna get increased effect because
Sure.
she's
Okay.
buying you time. And so yeah, Wester, he replies. So yeah, like what exactly do you say?
I say, you don't know exactly what's going on here. I was the one who let Malera know about this.
Yeah, and so his replies, you think I don't know everything that she knows.
I'm not, and it's very sort of like deferential posture, you know, like
Yeah. in
there's
the
a lot of
traditional
I imagine like in the Aruvian culture there's like a lot of that sort of like I don't know,
Like
like
prescribed body language.
yeah, exactly, like body language is super important in like what you're saying, because you could say
So you
anything
assume the pose of
like pleading,
yes,
you know, yeah, exactly, like I'm throwing myself at your mercy sort of pose, saying like no, of course I understand, you're a very important man. I only hope that I might beg your mercy for myself.
And yeah, he kind of like scoffs and just like, yes, well, we will see what the mercy of the Red Sashes has for you. And again, there's that sound of like a bunch of people running as all of these like
Yeah.
So
you know, in
this room,
uniform Red Sashes run into the room and like grab Cricket, and they're gonna haul her off. Unless you want to resist.
I'm not going to resist because I think if I resisted after pleading for mercy, I basically lose that mercy. You know what I mean? If there is
Yeah.
any.
I mean, you still succeeded in your original intent,
so-
which is to set up
Which
everything
is to
else.
set everybody else up. So I'm gonna let
But you're also just
I
embracing.
am gonna let them take me, basically.
Great. What? Yeah. So you see these like in their full uniforms, Red Sashes run in. There's like 20 of them, and they make a big show of force of like being in here, and 2 of them like grab Cricket, and Wester just like starts walking out, and the 2 of them follow with Cricket in tow, like hands tied behind her back.
is this, you said this area was lit by that electroplasmic light?
Yeah, there's the one. It's like it buzzes really loudly, and it's like flickering occasionally.
Okay. If that weren't there, would it be dark in here?
Yeah, it would be totally dark. It's nighttime.
Okay.
Other
I have a fine long rifle and a shot.
Okay.
Yeah, so you want to knock out the lights?
Yeah, I would like to knock out the lights.
Is there any particular like to what end do you want to knock out the lights?
I would like to I guess make it a little easier to escape from here, and maybe create a diversion for Cricket.
Okay. Well, I mean, she's bought you an opportunity to do something. So you can.
You're gonna use my opportunity to buy me an opportunity rather than to get away.
Yeah, like this was supposed to be so you could get away, but you're gonna turn it back around.
Yeah.
So you can make a roll. Your position is, I think, risky in this
Okay.
case. And your effect is standard.
Sure.
It would normally, actually, your effect is great.
Okay, so my
You're
effect's standard
getting a
because I'm
bonus.
watched by 1,000 faces, so they're staring at me over my rifle.
Yeah, like you go to like aim down the sights of your rifle or whatever, and like the iron sights of your rifle are like the open mouth of this face, and you can see like the teeth and the tongue like wriggling in the air.
Yeah,
Ugh.
so that's really creepy, but I shake it off because I'm tough as nails, and so it's only less effect, and
So you're
I'm
gonna
down
use
to
standard
standard.
effect.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Um.
Yeah, and I think like you would have done it a lot sooner if not for this vision, right?
Right.
And it's like you needed Cricket to like buy all this time for you to like actually steady yourself and get the shot.
Yeah. So I think I'm going to go ahead and do that, and then I will.
And yeah, what you gonna roll?
I'm going to roll hunt because this is a ranged shot. Does that sound good?
Yes, indeed.
Okay, you guys look like you're muted. Let me roll hunt then. Risky, standard, no bonus dice.
All right, so you do it.
Burning down the house.
Yeah, so there's like the crack of the shot, and this electroplasmic light, like it's not, it's not an incandescent bulb. It is, powered by the blood of leviathans and dead spirits and shit. So when this light explodes, there's like this brief ripple in the ghost field, and you see like, I think everyone sees this scene of the ship as it was like getting sunk, racked by this explosion. So you see people, these like ghostly figures being hurled across the room, but like as if it were upright. So everything's like on its side, and they're being hurled across the room by this explosion and then like falling to the floor. And someone is like desperately trying to like claw their way out of this room as it fills with water. There's like all these overlapping images that go by very, very briefly. But it puts the room into chaos. All the sashes, there's the sound of all of them drawing their swords and like shuffling of feet as they form this like protective ring around Wester. But Rubix, you have a chance to act. Cricket, if you want to try to get away in the confusion or whatever, you have a chance to act as well.
Okay, well, let's see what Rubix does first.
Okay, Rubix is definitely leaving the scene altogether. Betrayal of his essential right hand is a little bit too much for his paranoia.
Yeah, totally.
Right now.
Just risky great.
Risky?
I mean, everything's risky. It would be.
I thought it was desperate.
I mean,
because
well,
we
yeah,
are
you're
surrounded, aren't we?
Absolutely
I mean, you've also had 2 setups to help you escape, basically. Like,
yeah, I feel like by
Okay.
now the situation is a little bit less desperate.
Okay.
At
Risky
least in
great.
terms of doing what you're doing. If you were trying to like make a play directly against the Red Sashes, it would be much more of a problem. But in this moment, you have a good opportunity to escape.
Okay.
4.
And yet, despite all the opportunity in the world, so you get it. So you're going to get away, but this whole incident is definitely going to bring some heat on the crew. We'll just do 1 heat. But I'll
Okay.
also now. Yeah, people are going to hear about this just by sheer merit of the Red Sashes involvement, but they'll know the Red Sashes are making no secret of it that they were here because the Firebirds were here. So yeah, Cricket. Your hands are tied behind your back. But briefly in this like scuffle in the dark, there's an opportunity for you to escape or do something if you want to.
I've put myself in a bad position here.
One might even say that you're in a desperate.
A desperate situation.
It's okay because you're a daredevil.
Yeah, I mean, nothing could stop me from escaping this particular situation if I wanted to, because I can just shift into the ghost field and become insubstantial and pass through solid objects. So,
Yeah, you want to try that?
Yes, I think I do. So it's gonna cost me. It's gonna cost me 2 stress to pass through solid objects, so to immediately have my hands free, basically.
Yeah,
Um,
totally.
and then I'm going to also use the Devil's Footsteps. To in the darkness, like leap through a gap in the sheeting or like a window or some kind of alcove, like
Yeah, there's totally like, so there's like the floor of this area, and the whole ship is kind of on this weird angle. And there's all the places that they scapped material from. It's like all the space up above, so you can like jump into these girders and stuff, and just like
yeah, exactly.
Make your way out of
Just
space.
disappear into the darkness, like far away as quickly as possible.
normal people wouldn't be able to do that, but you can move in this like unconventional cat-like way where you're leaping.
Yeah, it is uncanny and potentially gravity defying
Yeah,
to
like
a certain extent.
if not for the circumstances, this would be like a fun place for you to practice.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
it's kind of like a gym almost for you.
Yeah.
Okay.
So in total, that cost me 3 stress to do. And what am I rolling? Like in terms of difficulty.
So here's what's complicated.
I'm gonna prowl.
Yeah, so you're rolling prowl. You can have great effect, but I think your position is still desperate
Okay.
because it is in the midst of you like are
Like
going
20
mostly
people, yeah.
while this like electroplasmic light was just blasted apart. And well, you'll see why if you fail. But anyways, roll desperate.
Sweet deal. Okay, well I'm a daredevil, so I get +1 on desperate rolls. Is there anything else I can do that would help? No, we're just gonna go for it. Fuck it. Critical.
Jesus. Okay.
Wow.
Yeah. So I think, yeah, you're like, you go to jump, and as you're jumping, this like ghostly surge, this surge of like ghostly ephemeral water, like comes up from below, and it's part of that same echo of the ship sinking, but it just like carries you out of the ship. So you go to jump to like the nearest girder, and you leap like 3
All the
girders
way,
up.
yeah.
You do this like insane like 2.5-story jump. And like beyond being out in the like quote unquote streets of the neighborhood, you're out on like the exterior of this massive hull of the Leviathan Hunter. And so you're just like completely inaccessible to your pursuers.
And I'm immediately ditching out, but not towards like the hideout, towards the next thing we need to do, because that still has to happen.
Okay, so you're going to the next store.
That's where I'm going.
Okay, great.
Because if there's one thing that's going to keep me from getting murdered by the Red Sashes, it's doing the job the Red Sashes told me to do, and then begging forgiveness.
Great. I like this. This is good.
I've decided Cricket's very pro Red Sash.
Where has Rubik's decided to go?
Take one wild guess.
To the same place as Cricket?
You interfere with my job.
Oh, you're gonna do this job. You're gonna do the dealing with the smuggling conspiracy job.
Yep. If nothing else, I am a professional.
Okay, great. Bert, what are you doing?
So the
Well, I
lights
think
are
at this
off.
point,
Cricket is just
a bunch of them are cracking these vials of like this fulminating, like bright. It like makes light. but
that's
it's
fine.
a chemical thing.
This is the perfect opportunity for the Baroness, who is my pangolin, to appear from the shadows
The Baroness?
Yeah.
Aw.
and start sowing chaos among their ranks.
Uh-huh. What does it
Razor,
look like?
Razor Pangolin.
Yeah, so I think like she rolls up into a ball and just like tumbles into somebody and then just like whips around and starts clawing at people.
Okay, and this is all still in the dark, right?
Yeah, yeah,
And we see
because
this like in this like dim red light from these fulminating like vials that a couple of them are carrying.
yep.
But right away she like barrels into one of them and tries to take him out. Anyways, what are you rolling?
Um,
Like, are you also like firing into the crowd?
yes, well, I want to take a shot at Wester in all of this confusion.
Oh, excellent. Excellent. Great. Um, do you want to use any special other equipment for this?
I've got my fine long rifle. I've got a trained hunting pet. Electroplasmic ammunition's only really good against spirits, so no, I think I'm okay.
Okay. What is our situation here? So your position, you're far enough away that I think you're still just in a risky position. It's not desperate.
Okay.
Um, your effect level would normally be limited. You have a fine hunting rifle and your fine hunting pet helping you out, so it's back up to standard.
The hunting pet is not fine. It's trained.
Okay, well,
I don't-
regardless, you have your
Okay.
fine hunting rifle, and so you're back to limited because of your injury.
Okay. And I think I will push myself for better
more
effect. Yeah.
Okay. As a devil's bargain, can anyone think of any good devil's bargains?
Yeah, the lights still go off, and they're able to see you clearly.
Oh, like he's in some way like singled out.
Yeah,
Like they see where the shot comes from.
they see where the shot comes from, and they like get a glimpse of your face in the
Yeah, like Wester
spark.
sees that it's you
Okay.
again.
Yeah, that's fine
Yeah,
by
I'm down
me.
with that. That's a good devil's bargain.
Okay. So I am at. I mean, let me get my roll up here. All right, I'm in a risky position. I'm having standard effect currently. I have one bonus die. Here we go. I got a
Yay!
6.
Okay. I'm gonna start a clock. Let's see here. Just ignore this one over on the right, in the top right corner. Just ignore that.
What clock in the far right?
There isn't one. It's fine. Nothing is bad. This is gonna be a 6 count. So do you want to kill Wester?
Yeah.
All right, we're just gonna call this clock Wester. You got 2 dots on it. But he's a serious badass.
Okay.
So you go to take this shot at him,
Mm-hmm.
and he reacts like as you're pulling the trigger. So like before the bullet's even in the air, he's reacting to the shot, and he swings his special like fighting sash up,
Okay.
and it leaves this like trail of like shimmering electroplasmic like lightning.
Oh,
And so he like deflects the bullet.
damn.
And then like keeps twirling and goes into this like fighting stance, but he's like obscured behind a bunch of his like red sash dudes,
Mm-hmm.
and he's like in a quiet voice that still like carries through the whole room. He's just like upstairs now, like, and then gives a bunch of names, and like a bunch of these guys go running and by way of various little directions up into the like upper floors of this building where you are.
Oh shit.
So what do you do?
I think I am going to. Are there any windows?
There
like,
is a open hole in the side of the ship that's like a 100-foot drop to
Oh, that's
the ocean, which you don't want to end up in anyways.
no.
Yeah, this thing is like it's like 8 stories tall in terms of what comes up out of the water, and it's
Yeah.
like the whole ship is on its side, and you're adjacent to the underside of the ship, so it's like the big kind of curving, which then peaks at this like keel kind of shape. So if you were
Okay.
to jump out the window, you'd go down the side of the ship. You know, you can take your chances doing that if you want.
So for my trained hunting pet, it says your animal companion obeys your commands and anticipates your actions. Cohort expert hunter. So if I book it, can my animal companion know to?
Yeah, you
Also-
can like whistle to it to follow you or whatever, and it'll
Yeah, to like
you know,
get
you
the hell
have
out of there.
however it is that you two communicate, you have some method.
Okay. Awesome. Because I've put a rope on the outside of this building before we got here.
Oh, you did?
Yes, I did.
Okay, that's definitely a one stress flashback.
Sure. I'm gonna haul ass up it.
Okay, so it's like allowing you to climb to the top.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. You want to make a roll for that?
Yeah. I guess this is what a prowl to do. Like
Yeah, it would be like
quickly
a prowl
climbing
roll,
up is
do an
what I
athletic
feel.
thing, I guess. If you want to do it that way,
Which one?
prowl, I guess.
Yeah, prowl seems good.
Up to you, but that seems like the most likely choice.
Yeah, let's do that.
Risky, limited, I guess, unless it's like fine climbing gear or something.
Hold on one second. Let me.
And I say limited because normally it would be standard, but you're injured.
Right, that's correct. Yeah, no. So I took off my climbing gear and what am I gonna do? Yeah, I'll climb it with risky limited. Limited. No bonus dice. A 4.
Okay, so you go to start climbing, but then I mean, like the Baroness doesn't get there in time for you to like pick her up or
Oh,
whatever, and she can't really climb the rope.
I gotcha.
So you're kind of like caught between, you know, like you can go up and she'll have to find another way, or you'll have to like tell her to do something else and hope for the best.
I'll hop back down.
Yeah, so like
Can't
there's,
leave
like,
the
this
Baroness behind.
red sash with his sword drawn, or with their sword drawn, and like this fulminating, red vial, which has gotten like quite a bit brighter now, kind of like ramp up in their brightness.
Okay.
And he's running down this gangway, to like where the rope is, and she's there at the rope like defending it basically because she can't climb it, but she still wants to like help you, and so she's like hissing at him or something and is about to like jump on him.
Okay. I'm gonna pull out my pair of pistols, my fine pair of pistols, and unload on this guy.
Cool. What do you want to roll?
I want to roll skirmish, or well, am I close? That's the question. Like,
I mean, if you stay up on the rope, you could like hunt him.
yeah, I'll stay on the rope then.
The Baroness is
Oh.
still kind of stuck down there. You'll have to
Yeah.
start
So
with-
I jumped down off the rope. Like I'm gonna hop down off the rope.
Yeah,
and
if you're like down there, then you're definitely skirmishing with this
Yeah.
guy. He's a trained
That's-
swordsman, so he's fast. He's like right up in your shit, and it's a proper skirmish. That makes sense to me.
Yep.
So risky standard minus your injury to limited,
Sure.
because these are fine pistols, right?
Yes, they are.
Yeah, so you're well equipped to fight him.
So risky limited. Oh, and no bonus dice. Oh,
Oh,
Uh-oh.
no.
So yeah, you come down and there's like the crack of your pistols, and this guy like dances back, and then you feel a sword enter you from behind.
Entering.
Yeah, so you take level 3 harm, run through.
I don't think you should take that personally.
Yeah, I think I'm going to avoid that. Or
Remember armor.
remember, I don't have enough spots for armor right now.
Yes, you do.
So you've got the 2
We got
low
our
for free
game
available
traits.
for webbing
Yeah, or Bravo's webbing.
or
Yeah,
whatever.
I've already used that for my fine long rifle. I've used 1, 2 for
Oh,
climbing.
shit.
Oh, my train
Oh.
hunting pet doesn't take spots.
Oh,
No.
okay.
Oh, okay.
You don't carry it in your coat.
Yes.
You have to free the pangolin.
Yeah, so I'll go down to a level 2 harm, because I was wearing armor, and I think it like glances off my armor and like still digs into me, but not in my spleen.
Yeah. So yeah, you can take the level 2 harm, slashed, I guess.
Sure. We love level
And
2 harm.
yeah, so this sword
Here, show.
like goes to punch through you, and then instead kind of comes in at like a weird angle and like jabs out this way through your coat and gets kind of tangled up.
Okay.
You've just
That's a-
unloaded both of your pistols. What do you do?
God. I think we take a break, maybe?
Yeah, I think we do. All right, we'll be back to see what happens. I'm concerned. This is season opener. Exciting. Action. Death. All right. Be back in a few minutes, guys.